A statement has been made at Arsenal. Ethan Nwaneri puts on a clinical performance to show why he's probably the most exciting young talent since Jack Wilshere. I want to get your guys' thoughts on not only the game, not only Ethan Nwaneri, but there's also some other interesting talking points that I definitely want to get people's opinions on. Before we get into it though, if you could just quickly do me a favour and hit like on this video. So I'm going to start this video with a question. I just want to know, Arsenal versus Preston, who was your man of the match? I'm pretty sure I know what everyone else is going to say, but show your appreciation in the comment section and just show who your man of the match is. So I think there's reasons to be optimistic as an Arsenal fan. A statement has been made by Ethan Nwaneri. Like, he's out there showing people why he deserves a chance. There's so many of us out there in the Arsenal fan base that have been saying, like, this is a player that we can probably give more of an opportunity to in Premier League games. I know there's kind of an opinion out there that people don't want to throw him in because he's probably not he's not going to be comparable to Odegaard. He's not the final answer that Arsenal need, but I think he's showing exactly why so many people are excited about him. He can produce outcomes that I think can benefit this team, not only in the cup games, not only in the Carabao Cup, but games coming up against Newcastle and Chelsea. I would actually like to see Ethan Nwaneri given a chance in those games. Let me know your thoughts on that. I think we're going to have more discussion as the week goes on. We've obviously got Newcastle in 2 days' time, so it's a quick turnaround. We got 2-3 days rest in between these matches, but there's still plenty to talk about. Like, we're going to speak about the game. Look, I think Ethan Nwaneri showed that kind of creativity, that spark. He kind of glides along the pitch, and it's something we've definitely missed since the absence of Martin Odegaard started. Like, we've definitely lacked creativity in those forward areas. We've definitely seen glimpses of players showing that they can produce outcomes, and like there's been a moment of magic. But all in all, our players definitely suffered since Martin Odegaard's been injured. I think that's fair to say. I think the results definitely reflect that. The last 3 weeks has probably been a bit of a not a downer on Arsenal, but it's definitely been a bit of a rough patch. We've seen some performances where we're thinking, oh, we probably should be playing better than this. We obviously had the loss against Bournemouth, and I think it's coming to an end. We were only around the corner from Martin Odegaard returning back from injury. We're kind of having word on Gabriel that maybe the injury isn't as bad as it seems, and this is all good news. And I definitely want to see Ethan Nwaneri given a chance against Newcastle. We've seen a midfield free of Marino, Rice and Partey, and although I think that's a very strong midfield, I think it does lack that spark, that creativity, the flair needed to just unlock defences at times and maybe just do something different. And that goal that Ethan Nwaneri scored is absolutely world class. We've seen Saka do that from the right hand side, but to have that option in the middle of the field as well, where you can cut back into your left foot and just whip it top corner, like the keeper was literally planted, he couldn't do anything about it. And that's why I want to see Ethan Nwaneri against Newcastle. And that begs the question, let me know, is Ethan Nwaneri ready to play in the Premier League games? Let me know in the comment section. So, I mean, when the game started, there was kind of some comments on Nwaneri that I actually didn't like. Like, the main commentator was bigging him up. He was saying, look, this is a great young talent. He's going to be doing brilliant things when he's older. But the second commentator was kind of putting a downer on his name. I'm not sure why that was, but after 10 minutes, the commentator made a comment, and I was thinking, what are you? This is a 17-year-old kid, and you're making a comment like this. He literally said his last 3 deliveries have been poor. He's lost the ball the last 3 times he's had. And I'm just thinking, what are you doing? This is a young man who, of course, will make mistakes. Of course he's going to get things wrong. His decision making at times isn't going to be at the top level because he hasn't had a chance to flourish in like a first team environment, a senior first team environment. So of course there's going to be decisions. I think we saw it with a shot where the through ball to Martinelli and Jesus was on, and he took a bit of a weak shot. By the way, the setup from Marino was weak on one of his chances as well. So like early on, I don't think he was struggling by any means because he was showing the confidence that he can attack a game. He's old enough and he's mature enough to say, look, I'm going to try and stamp my authority in this game. I'm going to take chances. I'm going to do or continue to do what I've been doing in these lower or younger leagues and try and let that show in the older leagues. So I just thought, all in all, it was a very mature performance from Ethan Nwaneri, and the commentator just made me not laugh. I was kind of thinking, why are you trying to put out there that he's lost the ball the last 3 times and try and put a negative spin on it? So when he scored that goal and when he finished that game playing so well, I just thought, well done. What a mature performance. Very, very interesting. Team selection, all in all, I was very, very happy with. I probably would have liked to have seen Miles Lewis-Skelly, but I also understand there's players in that first team that do need minutes. Like, they're going to help us out this season, not only in the Premier League, not only in the cup games, the Carabao Cup, the Champions League. So we need to use all of our squad. So Jorginho getting some minutes, I was happy with it. Zinchenko getting some minutes, I was happy with it. And at times early on in the game, I actually thought Zinchenko was doing well. The fact that he was dropping so deep, receiving the ball centrally, and he does have a good eye for a pass. But I'll tell you who I didn't know they were so elite at parking, and that is Jakub Kiwior. He played about 3 balls or 4 balls during that game where I was thinking, where on earth has he pulled this ability from? Like, we know what Kiwior is. He's a very solid defender. He's athletic. He's growing into this Arsenal senior team. He's a young player, played out of position for many times last season. But the passes Jakub Kiwior was finding, I was just very, very impressed with his passing range and his passing accuracy as well. Like, not only the ball that he whipped into the box, there was a few times where he was playing it long to either winger. And I was thinking, I like this from a defender. I like our defender to be progressive and finding those cutting through passes that I usually associate with a player like Thomas Partey, for example. He's very good at finding those, not just long range passes, but those passes where it cuts out 3 or 4 of the opposing team, and then the player receives the ball and you're thinking, oh, like, he's just crafted an opportunity there out of basically nothing. So Jakub Kiwior impressed me with his passing ability last night as well. I think Raheem Sterling, I think it was all in all a positive showing from Raheem Sterling. Look, he done this in I think it was the Bolton game as well, where he scored a goal and he played very, very well. He's done it again in another cup game against a lower league team. Does that give you cause for concern? Not for me, because this is still a player who will be growing into this Arsenal team. He's definitely not at the level where I think he's ready to start in the Premier League. I think he does still need to raise his game, not only in terms of having that confidence to go past the player, but like, when you're playing in an Arsenal team, you do have to have the desire and the commitment to get back at times. Like, there's still sometimes, and I'm not going to start calling out Raheem Sterling, but it's just something I've noticed. At times when the team's breaking, you'll see on the left-hand side, Martinelli is breaking his back to get back, and Raheem Sterling doesn't seem to have that same type of energy to want to do the defensive work. That's just something I've noticed. I don't know if you guys noticed it as well, but let me know what your thoughts are, not only on that Raheem Sterling performance, but maybe where Raheem Sterling's at this Arsenal team. Are you happy where he is? Do you think, was you expecting maybe slightly more from Raheem Sterling? Or do you think he's on track to do maybe what Mikel Arteta we've seen done with Havertz? Like, starts off slow, there's a bit of doubt surrounding him, and then after a while it just goes bang, and you can see the Mikel Arteta imprint on the player. I'm hoping that happens with Sterling. Maybe not, but all in all, I think it was a good showing from Raheem Sterling yesterday. And finally, Gabriel Jesus got his goal. I think this is so important for Gabriel Jesus. Like, it's kind of like a monkey on his back, isn't it? Like, when you've been, 24, 25 goals without scoring. As a striker, I can tell you 100% you're thinking about where's that next goal going to come from. And at times, you're probably snatching at chances where it's not really there, because you just want that noise or that background, because you know people are going to be talking behind the scenes. As a player, as a striker, if you've not scored in 25 goals, I can assure you, you absolutely know people are saying, this is a striker, he's not even scoring goals, what's Gabriel Jesus doing? So the fact that he scored his goal, I think it's going to be a relief on Gabriel Jesus. I hope he can use this as a catalyst to springboard on and not just score more goals, but maybe, I don't know, affect games more positively going forward. Again, with Gabriel Jesus, I don't necessarily see him as a starter right now. A lot of you guys are frustrated with Gabriel Jesus. A lot of you guys are saying, no, Gabriel Jesus has been doing quite well recently. I just hope Gabriel Jesus can keep kicking on, because we all know how good Gabriel Jesus is. We've had this conversation 100 times on this channel. It was good to see Jesus get his goal. I hope he can kick on, and if he don't start in that Newcastle game or the Chelsea game, I hope he can come off the bench and impact the game positively. But let me know your thoughts on Gabriel Jesus. Let me know your thoughts about the game in general. What are your thoughts on Ethan Nwaneri? What was your thoughts on the midfield, the attack, maybe even the young goalkeeper as well, who I thought put on a very, very good showing. Thanks so much to everyone for watching and listening. Before you go, like I said, if you could just do me a favour, hit like on this video and subscribe, and I'll speak to you all in tomorrow's video. Gooners, have a good day.